all three of you. I had a request for this song last week, so I'm going to do it. I sort of did it. Whoa there. Off to a slow start today. That's all I got. Do you want me to play more? All right. Let's see. What can I play? I can play this.
Sarah.
Well, good morning and welcome to Unity of Charlottesville. My name is Rhonda Cooley and I'll be the celebration assistant today as Don and Patricia are gone for the month of August on their sabbatical, having a great time and getting a lot of rest and healing. So let's start with some music, shall we? Welcome to all those on YouTube and Zoom and all that too. I hope you're out there.
We had planned the music today with having a whole bank of praise singers in mind, and then we found that we had to have a new masking policy again. So on this song, which normally we'd all be whooping and singing on, you can sing too and clap. Clapping is really good for this one. Whoa, Spirit of God is upon me. Thank you. Whoa, the Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa, the Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa, the Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. I used to think that I had to. I used to think that I should. The scriptures told me that I had to be good. Now I love because I want to. I love because I am free. Blinded by the Spirit. Oh Lord, the Spirit of God is upon me. Yes, it is. Whoa. The Spirit of God is upon me. 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 Whoa. I don't need any prodding. I don't need any law. I God is my all in all. I let go of my burden. Loving God has set me free, blinded by the Spirit. Oh Lord, the Spirit of God is upon me. Isn't it, Janice? Whoa. The Spirit of God is upon me. The Spirit of God. The Spirit of God is upon me. Yes, it is. Whoa. The Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. The Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. Let's hear a little bit from Jim now. I thought it was my duty. I thought it was my job. Somewhere I believed that loving God would be hard. But loving God is wonderful. Loving God is ecstasy. I thank God for my freedom. Oh Lord, the Spirit of God is upon me. Yes, it is. Whoa. The Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. The Spirit of God is upon me. Yes, it is. Oh. The Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. The Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. Right. Yeah.
So welcome again to Unity of Charlottesville, the church that love built. Today we have our guest minister, Reverend Richard Bunch, who will do the opening prayer for us at this time.
Thank you. Well, good morning. And it's always wonderful to come here because you guys are filled with love, you're filled with spirit, you have an active community, and you know who you are. So knowing that, let's go into prayer. Oh, Spirit, we are so grateful for this beautiful morning, for our oneness, knowing we are unified in spirit, knowing there is but one source, one power, one love, all emanating from each of us through the power of the I Am. We surrender ourselves this morning to this service, to this opportunity to grow, to this opportunity to be revitalized, to this opportunity to take a step closer to that which we know we are. Spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in the human condition. And so it is. Amen.
And let us conclude our prayer with our statement of faith. Statement of faith. We know it.
There is only one
presence
and one power
in
in the universe
and
In my life,
God the good, omnipotent.
So this is a time, let's stand up, even though we're masked and everything, we can at least make eye contact with those around us and feel the love of our neighbors and our friends together.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Maria, if you would come on up, she has an announcement to make as president of the board. Oh, and Kids Church. Oh, there's a kid. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. Kids Church. There he goes. Hopefully they'll be a few.
Julian.
Here you go. Maria has a couple announcements.
Good morning. Hi. And hello out there in TV land. We actually have been keeping a close eye on the Delta variant, those of us on the board, and even though the ministers are away on sabbatical, they are keeping an eye on things as well, always keeping us in their hearts and in their minds. And the board came to a decision. We had a vote this week to decide that in the interest of keeping all of us safe, all of us, because not everyone who wants to be vaccinated is able to be vaccinated or covered with the vaccination. So we are going to be requiring masks indoors for everyone, regardless of your vaccination status. And in my life, you know, when something comes up that I am not happy about, I get to say, what a wonderful opportunity for me to do some learning. And so I know that a lot of people have mixed feelings about masks. So I just want to invite you to, if you're feeling resistance, if you're feeling anger and frustration, to just sit with that and think about what learning might come from this. For me, I'm always hot. I'm always sweating. And so I sweat a lot in my mask. And so I've just come to embrace that, much as I've come to embrace sweating in Virginia all the time during the summer. Anyway, so mask for everyone, and we're all going to be come out of this safely. So the other thing is that our membership renewals are due for our voting members. We're going to have our annual meeting in October, and we want to make sure that we have everyone on the rolls that we should. So again, out in TV land, you can go on the website, and you either should have, also should have received an email from Unity with that voting membership form. You can also find it on the website, and you can send it in electronically. Is there anyone here who needs a form today to fill out their membership? All right. Janet? Where's Janet? Oh, I'll bring it back to you. Anyway, so yeah, so we definitely want to get these in by September 2nd so we can update the roles and have a wonderful annual meeting coming. So if you have questions, you can contact me, and I'm going to stop talking. I'm sorry.
Right there, Ellen, I think. That was all. That was Ellen. I'd also like to take this opportunity to introduce those people that help these services go so smoothly every Sunday, and that would be the sound team up there with Aisha and Boyan, and Mark down there, of course. Mark's always here. And our music team, Blair and Jim, myself.
Yes.
A little bit back to the skeleton
Rhonda.
crew here for a while. And the welcome team out there, the blessing team, is Janet Buckheit's team today. And I'm not sure about the bookstore, but it might be open after. They did open it for the first time a week or so ago, so somebody's nodding.
and
Yes, it's true. The
Can I
bookstore
point
is-
out that Sarah
Oh, and Sarah
Meyer
of course, our
is also
great
part of the music
violinist.
team.
Sarah, I'm so sorry.
Sarah's on board with us now. We're very excited about that.
So let us affirm our mission statement together. Together, Unity of Charlottesville empowers everyone to express their unique divinity, making a positive difference in the world.
I got to see our friends J.D. Martin and Jan Garrett in their home in Colorado this past week. And it was wonderful visiting with them and my husband. And my husband was visiting with them too. I wasn't visiting my husband. I still live with my husband. And so we're doing 2 of their songs today, and this is one of them. This is one we haven't done before, and I don't know why, because it's a great song. We are all seeds in the garden of God's dreams, red and yellow, black and white, shining like a rainbow in God's light, light that knows no bound borderlines. There's beauty everywhere it shines. God bless us all. Oh, I believe we are all one spirit on this spinning ball. God bless us all. One heart believes, peace becomes reality. I remember to forgive, that's when I remember how to live. Let there be a celebration of all the colors of creation. God bless us all. Oh, I believe we are all one spirit on this spinning ball. God bless us all. Bless us all. Oh, I believe we are all one spirit on this spinning ball. God bless us all. We are all seeds living in the garden of God's dreams.
How's it going? Thanks, guys. So again, I'd like to introduce to you Reverend Richard Bunch. He's been here before. His wife was here just last week, not too long ago. He came all the way from Richmond, and he began his ministerial career serving as a spiritual leader of Unity of El Paso in El Paso, Texas, for over 5 years. After graduation from Unity Institute in 2006, he and his wife, Reverend Victoria Bunch, served Unity of Richmond as co-ministers. After her retirement in 2016, he has continued as senior minister. Richard has served in leadership roles with Unity's Eastern region. He has served on the Board of Trustees for Unity Worldwide Ministries as treasurer. He is a past treasurer and chair of the board. He is a visionary, a dynamic speaker, an inspirational teacher, and he has been invited to numerous Unity ministries as guest speaker and board's advisor. He is an instructor at the Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute, and he has designed and facilitated the class, The Foundations of Unity. Let us all give a warm welcome to Reverend Bunch.
Well, Wanda, thank you so much. That's the nicest introduction I've had since my mother introduced me one time. So thank you for that, okay? Oh, goodness. Like I said, it's really good to be back with you folks and to share with you this morning the idea that we are spiritual beings. You know, as a little girl who asked her mother, "Mama, how were we created?" And her mother said, "Well, honey, God created Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve had children, and all these thousands of years later, that's why you're here." She said, "Oh." So about 2 days later, she was with her dad, and she said, "Dad, how were we created?" And he said, "Well, honey, there's a thing where we call the Big Bang Theory. You'll learn about that later. But basically what happened is we evolved over time into monkeys, and then monkeys became human beings." The little girl's a little confused now. Goes back to her mother and says, "Mom, Dad said we came from apes, and you're saying we came from God. Which is it?" She said, "Well, honey, you have to understand. I'm talking about my side of the family, and he's talking about his side of the family." So, let me remember to do this, okay? I think, there we go. Okay. So, I want to talk about this idea that we are spiritual beings with a twist in a few minutes. You know, I think most of us at some age, and thank goodness younger people are understanding this at a much younger age than when I came along, that deep down within us, that we start to understand we are more than just infinite beings, that we are, just finite beings, but we are infinite beings. We start to understand that we have a power within us that was never disclosed many times by others. Many of us might have been taught we were unworthy, and yet we know differently deep down in our heart space. We know differently as we access and understand that we are divine. That our brain is an organ that does not live forever. And so it's our divinity that gives our brain instruction when we start to understand we are really spiritual beings, that we are growing in spirit. And like I said, young people are doing that today, and certainly I didn't see that in my day, and it's growing and growing. And some of us took a while to get to this point. Some of us took maybe in our 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s to get to this point. But the point is that we get there and we start to understand and know that we are not just our egos, but instead we are spirit itself, living actively and awake. There's a story about a little 5-year-old, and he had a new baby sister. And he persisted and insisted with his parents that he wanted to be with her alone. And they were a little concerned about that, and they said, "Why do you want to do that?" And he said, "Well, I need to be with her because I'm starting to forget God, and I think she can remind me." Yeah, kind of cool story, isn't it? But you see, most of us have probably heard this terminology. It was first said, supposedly, by Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, who was a Jesuit priest who wrote the book called The Phenomenon of Man. He was a fascinating guy, brilliant, graduated from college when he was 13 years old. I barely got into high school when I was 13, and barely got out when I was 17. But he graduated from high school when he was 13 years old. He was a Jesuit priest, and he traveled the world, literally, Part of it because he taught in Paris, and the things he was teaching, the Catholic Church was upset about, because he literally was teaching the Big Bang Theory, that each of us came from a source. And he called it the source of love. And we became a cell, and then we became something else, and then we grew into what is the human experience. That each of us are having this human experience, as it says, as a spiritual, in a spiritual way. You see, we spend our lives many times trying to find out how we are human beings having a religious experience. And what we learn in time is that we're spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in the human condition. Chardin wrote this book, The Phenomenon of Man, and what he said basically is that there are two levels of evolution. That's the evolution of the physical being, of humankind. And that as we evolve and have evolved, that as far as he was concerned, we pretty much have gotten to the point in evolution where we can look within ourselves, where we can experience life differently, and where we can grow spiritually. And he says a second phase is spiritual evolution, where we grow in spirit, where we start to understand ourselves as spirit, where we begin to understand who we truly are. And he said that the spiritual evolution will eventually bring mankind to the omega point. The point where we all know that we are one. The point of unification. The point where we understand everything that we think, everything that we do has an effect on every person. Where we get rid of judgment, where we use the power of forgiveness to see each other in a different way, and where we really do is we begin to see each other as the Christ, the I am, as a part of Source, that you and I truly are God in action. But it takes all of us to give that complete sense of that. It's not just I am God. We are God. And I know that's a hard thing sometimes for people to hear because we've been taught not to say that or be like that or think like that. So, you see, we are now living, as you know, in the age of technology. See? I would never have thought I'd ever use this like this. In the age of technology. But what we're really living in is the age of awareness. The technology gives us a greater awareness of the world. The technology creates in us an understanding of what's going on in the world. And sometimes we really don't want to deal with that. Especially many of us who have been blessed to live a life that gives us income, a life that gives us opportunity, a life that gives us relationships that are healthy. But at the same time, when we go through that, we find ourselves sometimes depressed even, because we're looking at the outside and focusing on the outside rather than the inside. And as we do that, we begin to understand and become aware again of this human condition. And I think there's a message in that. You see, if we're not careful, we can use our spiritual understandings to bypass our human condition. Let me see how this works. Here you go. So, what I like to say is we are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in the human condition. I had a person in class one time said, wait a minute, you thinking everything in the human condition is spiritual? I said, no. Part of it happens out of error consciousness. That's what Charles Fillmore said, co-founder of Unity. Part of it happens because we are unaware of who we are and we're asleep at the wheel. Some of it happens because of egos in charge rather than spirit being in charge. And as we start to understand that, what it says to me is that as a spiritual being, when I'm aware of that, then I can be in the human condition and take some responsibility for it. Take some responsibility for it. So, as we look at this idea, what I want you to do is think about the parable of the Jericho Road. There it is. And most of us know that parable, or maybe it was a true story, we don't know. But Jesus told that story to a young rich man who said to Jesus, "Tell me, Master, what are the great commandments?" And Jesus said, "Well, to love thy Lord, thy God, with all thy heart, all thy mind, and all thy spirit." He said, "Okay." And then Jesus said, "But also love your neighbor as yourself." And the young man said, what does that mean? And so Jesus shared with him the parable of the Jericho Road. Now, the Jericho Road runs from Jerusalem, the seat of religion during that day, where all of the priests, all the hierarchy of religion, the Jewish faith, lived and performed their duties, all the way over and down to Jericho, which is 2,200 feet below Jerusalem. And in Jericho is where the government was, where the rich were. So here you've got the religious leaders, and over here you've got the political leaders. And so you walk down the Jericho Road to get to, or up the Jericho Road to get to either of those centers. On the Jericho Road, it was called literally a way of blood because so many people were beat up, robbed, killed as they traveled on that particular road. And I looked at a copy of Jericho Road today, and it's paved, it looks pretty nice, it looks safe, okay? But back in that time, you were walking or riding a donkey or doing something like that, and it was not safe. And so Jesus tells about this Good Samaritan. Now, it's interesting that he did not use a good Jewish person from Israel, an Israelite. He talked about a Samaritan who stopped on the road when he saw somebody who was beat up. As a matter of fact, he said, a priest walked by and said, "Nope, can't help you." But you have to understand, in that day and time, a priest was not supposed to touch anybody who had been beat up or who was maimed or who was a leopard or anything of that nature. So he was following the guidelines of his particular religion. And then another person came along, and a Levite, who also was a religious leader, and said, "I can't help you, but I hope you're fine." And then a Samaritan came along. The Samaritan stopped, as you know, took care of the man, put him on his donkey and took him to shelter and for medical help. And as he did that, he was helping this man who was Jewish. He was helping that person to literally survive. So as we understand this Jericho Road, what we understand is that we can find on the Jericho Road the Good Samaritan. We can find on the Jericho Road the prodigal son, the one who ran away from his father, lost everything. We can find on the Jericho Road the poor of today, the hungry who feel hopeless because of their conditions. We can find on the Jericho Road the marginalized in society who are struggling to survive day to day, who live in fear many times, who need help. And we can find those who are traumatized by violence on the Jericho Road, those who lack educational opportunity live on the Jericho Road, those who are affected by racism or systemic racism, both, two different things. You can find them on the Jericho Road. You can find the egos that live in fear of other people, other customs, other societies, who are literally today split and polarized in America. A lot of those people are all on the Jericho Road. Some of you have been on the Jericho Road, I'm sure. Maybe you suffered through depression. Maybe you suffered through a loss of income or loss of job. Maybe you've suffered through COVID in some way. That's all part of the Jericho Road. And what happens, you see, the people many times, and I'm not trying to condemn anybody, but the people who are in the religious leadership say, I'll pray for you, I'll think about you, but I can't be involved with you. People in the political arena say, I don't want to do but so much for you. I don't want to help you but so much because I have a constituency who votes a certain way and I want to go along with that. And that's not Republican or Democrat, by the way. That's just any politician just about in some circumstances. And so what happens is we get this polarization, we get this idea that we can't do anything. You see, what has happened in Unity, I believe at times, has been what I would call a spiritual bypass. We agree that we're spiritual beings. We agree that we are on the spiritual path. We're having a spiritual experience, which means I can manage my life when I have difficulty. I go to spirit, not ego, to solve my problems. And as we do that, it feels so good. And it does. I remember. I still know. But we forget about others. I got the help I needed. Why would I do anything beyond that? And I can have great relationships with people in my Unity community. That's what I want to do. And yet I think that our 5 principles call us to do more than that. Because the principle of action is talking about something different. Otis Moss III, who is in Chicago, a great minister, said that action is a principle, not an idea, a thought. It creates opportunity and eliminates the Jericho roads in our lives. He also said this, which I thought was just a magnificent statement. The Samaritan provided housing, health care, and wages, and the marginalized were blessed. That's a different way. That's a bigger picture of the Samaritan, isn't it? And how true it is. And you and I can be that good Samaritan. So what I believe, and I just came off the board of Unity, and one of the things that a number of us worked for quite a while were statements by Unity on social conditions. And we recently made one, maybe some of you have seen it, on systemic racism and the errors of our past thinking. And I think that was the last thing I voted for when I came off the board. And I was really, really proud of that moment. Not because I did it, but because we did it as a board. And we're saying to our communities, we got to get involved, folks. We got to be the difference. We got to make the difference. We've got to share what we know through action, not just by talking about it, not by staying home or in our home church. We've got to be a part of the community. I know a lot of you probably are, so I'm not suggesting you're not. But we've got to continue to do that and see that as an opportunity. You see, we need to meet the disadvantaged on Jericho Road. We need to support through action the marginalized in our society and reach out to those who are on the Jericho Road so they can experience the healing and will move from a sense of helplessness to a sense of hope, then which leads to faith. Faith in themselves. Learn to love themselves as we love ourselves, which is healthy, which gives us strength, which gives us courage. And so we come back here saying we are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in the human condition. And let me share this last story with you. There was a fellow who was a grave digger, and he dug the grave and he left. Then another fellow was walking through the cemetery, and he was about 5 feet tall, didn't see the grave, and fell down in it. And so he's yelling, "Help, help, help." Now, excuse me for picking on anybody, but a Unity minister walked by, looked at him and said, "I'm going to pray you out of that," and went to pray. Then a licensed Unity teacher went by and said, "I don't know what you did to get yourself in there, but I am sure God will help you get out." Then another guy walks by, a Good Samaritan, and he jumps down in the grave of the guy. And the guy said, "What are you doing, man? You're not any taller than I am, and I can't get out of here. What are you doing? We're both trapped." The guy said, No. I've been here before, and I know the way out, so I'll show you. I know the way out, so I'll show you. Each of you know the way out. For yourself, for your family, for your community, for those you know in your community, for those that maybe you disagree with in your community, that through your spiritual strength, through your wisdom, through your understanding, through your love, you can jump down in that hole because you know the way out. Thank you. Thank you.
Let us prepare for meditation.
I am spirit, I am holy, I am sacred, I am love. You are spirit, you are holy, you are sacred, you are love. We are spirit, we are holy, we are sacred, we are love.
So now let's take this moment to go deeper, to go within ourselves. You might like to start by resting your hands over your heart space. Feel the beat of your heart. And then experience breath itself. Breath is life. It is the life of God flowing in and through you, as you. So just take a moment to breathe. You may want to breathe deeply and hold, and then release. You may just want to be aware of your breathing. Be mindful of who and what you are. And as you move to your heart space, just let your hands relax, which allows your shoulders to be so relaxed, which then relaxes the abdomen. We can feel the energy moving through our hands, reaching out and touching one another. An energy that says, yes, I am spiritual. Yes, you are spiritual. Yes, we are spiritual. And so from the heart space, we open up and we allow the divinity that we are to show up. To show up as divine mind, guiding and directing me. To show up as the divine idea in the mind of Source, in the mind of the Creator, which says, I am perfect just as I am. And we open up to divine expression. I am willing to express the divine in my thoughts, in my prayers, through my love, through actions itself. And so I allow you to take this moment to go deep within, to relax, and to just simply ask this question: who am I? What am I? And what is mine to do in the silence? I feel the energy, God energy, moving in me and through me. I am now experiencing that place on high where spirit, mind, and body become one. I give thanks for this opportunity to be in the silence, to be in this moment, to be aware of what I am conscious of, to be aware of the power within me, to truly be aware that love is the solution. Unconditional love is the solution to every issue in my life and the life of others. And so I now know that I am spirit.
All is spirit, all is holy, all is sacred, all is love.
Thank you, Reverend Bunch, for your message and your meditation today. Very inspiring for sure. Whew. So at this time, we have an opportunity to give back, to let our love flow out to our church, our community, ourselves. As we know, it comes back to us tenfold. We have a butterfly net. There's one way to give today, right here in person. Or if you go to our website, you can give. I give on the Tithely app, or you can mail it the old-fashioned way. It may get here someday. So you can give that way too. So let us hold our tithes and offerings, our gifts, our blessings in our hand, in our hearts, and affirm together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Mother.
This is what I know. We are all connected. The universe reflected in each shining part. And everywhere I go, I recognize the faces. All of my relations in this one heart. And all I need is already looking through these eyes. Nearer than my breathing, closer than hands and feet, we are dreaming together all the gifts of heaven and earth. And so I receive all I can be. This is what I know, that we are all connected. The universe reflected in each shining part. And everywhere I go, I recognize the faces. All of my relations in this one heart. And all I need is already looking through these eyes. Nearer than my breathing, closer than hands and feet, we are dreaming together all the gifts of heaven and earth. And so I receive all I can be, and now I let it go with such appreciation, with sheer exhilaration. Now I set it free, and so it is, and so be it. When I sing it, I can see it. I welcome us in.
Let's stand.
And now
Let's
we
sing it.
begin.
You know this.
Amen.
Sing it.
Amen. 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 Don't you sing it? Amen. Sing it out now. Amen. 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 Let's sing it again. Amen. Let me hear you. Amen. 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 Amen.
Thanks.
Woo.
So we're going to bless the gifts of those that gave. They're back there going to do good works. And we thank you. Thank you. Thank you, God. Amen. So we have some opportunities for transformation, as we call them, also known as announcements. We always have our midweek faith lift on Wednesdays. So join in prayer and support online every Wednesday from 6:30 to 7. And we also have Men and Women of Unity on Thursday evenings. Mark, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, we're going to be studying with the men this new author that just recently published. His name is Reverend Don Lansky. So we're going to go over the first few
I
chapters
know
of his
him.
book. All are welcome to come.
Great. And Women of Unity? Aisha? No?
No.
Who's Women of Unity?
It's going to be
Anybody?
Valerie Freyer, and now for something completely different. And it will be live, both of the meetings.
Okay. Good to know. And we also have Chanting in Unity. Aisha? On Thursdays.
Chanting.
Catch it on Zoom and on Facebook.
That's right. And live, we're going to be chanting for the healing of the world. It's a long time coming. Chanting always just really lifts it up, but that's the intention this time. So hope to see you there. Thursday, August 26th, 7 to 8:30.
And we need that. And we have a prayer workshop coming up with our own Ann DeMichael, who's been here, becoming a Unity minister, and Reverend Jenny Roll. It'll be online via Zoom. Let's talk about prayer, shall we? On August 28th, Saturday, from 10 to noon. Sounds fun. We also have membership classes. There's a few classes that we require here so you kind of get an idea of what Unity is all about. Unity Basics on September 5th by the men's, and then Unity Basic 2, what Unity teaches. And the bookstore is open. It hasn't been open for a really long time. There's this one book in there by this guy, Don Lansky, that I hear is worth reading, and so you might want to go in there and check it out, especially if you like artichokes. There it is, peeling artichokes. And the meditation garden team is seeking plant divides for the new butterfly garden. Is Michelle here? Not today. So they are specifically looking for native plants that attract butterflies, but not deer. Do you have some, Blair?
Butterfly
In your
weed,
woods?
milkweed, buttonbush.
There you go.
Natives.
Contact Michelle Pike at pikegardens@gmail.com if you have any plants that you would like to share. I'm not real clear of native plants. That's something I would like to know more about. And then, of course, we have the Unity World Day of Prayer, which is in September from the 8th to the 9th, direct from Silent Unity. You can participate online from the comfort of your own home. And the Eastern Region Fall Conference is this year. As always, you can attend that online. Everyone is welcome, and you can register at unityeasternregion.org. And all of this information, of course, is on our website. So if you missed it, it's there. $257. And we also have a pastoral care team that is always available for prayer, visitations to hospitals. If anybody is in special need, give them an email at Pastoral Care. It's right there as well. And of course, we have virtual fellowship after the service. I don't know who's doing that today, but somebody is, probably Aisha or Mark. Are you? Okay, so we're going to do, what? Oh, you want to say something?
Yes, Tuesday night, Course in Miracles, area one.
Oh, okay. Is this new, coming back, or has been? It has been back. Oh, say maybe that was there, but we didn't get there yet. Anyway, on Tuesdays, Course in Miracles always meets up here in the Fillmore House, correct? So if you're interested in that, it's there at 7 o'clock? 6:30, 7? Sometime around there. Show up, they're there. And so today after Zoom, we have the virtual fellowship. And I think we can call Kate up for the children. Can we sing it? Sure, let's sing it. Keep coming.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kate. Happy birthday to you. We're going to have a virtual birthday party for Kate, who's 29 today. It's very good. We had to do that. Here you go.
Thank you. I'm going to claim all of my 42 years. Thank you so much. You brought tears to my eyes. The kids also helped me celebrate because every Sunday we always say our name, our age, and then we answer a question that the teacher gets to think of. And so Garrett has been helping me keep track of my age every Sunday. And we have been looking forward to this day. So it was finally here. Guys, do you want to say anything about what we talked about in Kids Church today?
Thunder.
Say it again.
Thunder.
Thunder. We read a book about a girl who was afraid of thunder and how she confronted her fears. And then we played hide and seek, which also involved some scary moments.
And four corners.
Right. We've been having lots of fun. All right, so let's bless our children, both the ones up here and also all the ones out there. Oh! So talking about confronting our fears, this is the YOUers and some parents and sponsors went ziplining a couple weeks ago, and that's us before we climbed up into the trees. I don't think we have an after picture. All right, now let's bless our kids and teens and parents, wherever they are, children, communiteens, YOUers, teachers, and parents. You are loved, special, and important. It's so true. Let's have a great week.
And happy birthday. Have a great day, Kate. All 42 years. So, we haven't mentioned it, but yesterday morning there was a pretty serious earthquake in Haiti, and I just wanted to kind of give us an opportunity to send them healing and loving thoughts. They certainly are in need of it. All this time since the last one, and they're still healing from that. So here they are again. Thank you to everyone for helping out with today's service, as always. Reverend Richard, if you want to come up. We can sing the peace song together if you want. And we always have prayer at the end of the service. We have our healing helpers over there in the corner with PMH, and of course our prayer partners for one-on-one prayer if you are in need. Is there anything I have missed? Thanks, Blair and the music team, Sarah in particular. You have added so much, and I'm not kidding either. It's great to have your violin. It's just, it really makes a difference. And so let's all stand and close with our prayer for protection. Together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And wherever God is, all is well. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Go out there and have a great spiritual experience being humans this week.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Reverend Bunch.
Thank
Have a
you.
great week.
Start at the beginning, play it straight through.